Paul, what's the feeling these last couple days as you sort of lock in and prepare for this matchup starting tomorrow?
It's great. It's what it's about, this moment right here.
Your kind of thoughts on maybe some of the core key areas you'll have to play well as a team this series?
Yeah, just take one game at a time. Obviously, we got to defend home court. We got to set the tempo early. But I mean, we know what we got to do. We got to throw out what the record was regular season. We played fairly well against them. We got to throw that out and create a new moment starting tomorrow.
When Melo says, and a lot of people say this in the playoffs, it comes down to the small things against this team. What are those?
I think just attention to details, blocking out, just making everything tough, playing physical, being aggressive. They're not primarily a transition team, but they got guys that can play in the transition game. So we got to limit Donovan, limit Rubio, making plays, and I think just being aggressive with pretty much everybody else.
Paul, defensively, they're really good at forcing guys into shots that they want you guys taking, whether it's long twos and that kind of stuff. How do you attack that so you can still get shots that you like, threes and shots?
Yeah, I think in a way we don't fight it. I think we just be decisive with what we want to do. They're gonna give us, whether it's mid ranges or kick out threes. We have to have the mindset to take those. We just can't be indecisive about it. Whether we should shoot it or we shouldn't shoot it or try to play at the rim. I think whatever we do, we just got to be decisive on it.
Is part of it, like when you put up those mid-range shots, is part of it just kind of keeping Gobert honest with the way that he likes to drop back and trying to keep the defense honest in that sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got great guys in the mid-range game, in pick and roll with myself, Russ, Melo. So if that's how they're gonna guard us, we got to exploit that and force them to make the change in their schemes.
PG, you mentioned regarding Donovan. You guys faced him so early in the season that Andre was the guy who was primarily on Donovan for most of those possessions. I mean, is that something that you're going to take on, guarding Donovan for the majority of possessions?
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used to this. Y'all ain't met playoff P yet, huh? I'm used to these matchups. I'm used to playing against the best offensive guy during these moments. So, that'll be my role. Not to say Corey won't guard him, but that'll definitely be my role, especially late in games, is to take that matchup.
Okay, so that was my next question. They say big-time players like big-time moments. What is playoff PG like?
Man, it's a fun guy to watch. It's an out-of-body person where I just lock in and put myself into a different zone.
PG, I know that person. So with that being said, when you got that phone call coming here, and you heard you're going to be playing with Russ and Melo, did you envision the fourth seed and having home court advantage? And some people think y'all can go deep if y'all play together. Absolutely.
I didn't. Of course, I thought we with what we had, the talent we had, I didn't see us being at fourth, but I saw us in this moment getting ready for the playoffs and knowing what we all bring as individuals into the playoff. I thought about that, and that's what had me excited when I first got here, and I still have that same excitement. So looking forward to jumping this thing off.
Paul, you mentioned that balance when you're guarding the number one guy and also having the energy to find your offense as well. I mean, how do you feel about that balance going into the playoffs and knowing that you're going to have Donovan for a lot of those assignments?
Honestly, I'm not as tired as people may think. It's almost like a different gear. It's a different feeling. Adrenaline's going, and then you just know it's playoff time. Like it's no time to be tired or fatigued. You just go into a different place, and I've been good at that, being able to guard the primary guy, and then in Indiana being the go-to guy. I've been used to that, so I'm up for that challenge. I'm excited for that challenge to once again showcase playing both sides.
Paul, people on the outside like us are often talking about playoff adjustments throughout a series and that kind of stuff. But how much with a series that changes is just because of, like, not necessarily an actual adjustment, but just kind of like comfort. Like, you played a dude in 2 days ago, and so you just remember that's the move he got me with last time, and it's just as simple as that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about this. After a game, you got time to dissect and watch what happened over that first game to see that guy again, see that team again. So that's the beauty of it. You know, you always got to be on your toes. You always got to be ready for the next play. You got to be ready for the adjustments. You know, I've again been through this. We got countless guys that've been through that. You know, this is where the experience will play a huge factor.
Paul, over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of conversation about Brian Davis, the TV announcer, and some of the comments he made in y'all's last game of the season. From what we understand, he met with you all. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was that meeting like? How did it go, and just how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, he just addressed the situation. You know, that was it. He addressed the situation. You know, we'll. That's not where our focus is right now. It happened. He owned up. He took it head on. That's for the front office and him to discuss. They did so. We move on. We move on. We got something bigger to you know, focus on and be worried about. So again, it happened. But we'll move on.
Anything else? Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate it. Thank you.